The 11 greatest rookie seasons in NBA history by net wins. The Rookie of the Year award is a popularity contest with a statistical veneer. It rewards whoever scores the most on a team desperate enough to need their freshman. Net wins asks a different question. How much did this player actually contribute to winning? The answers are occasionally familiar. They're sometimes shocking, and in at least one case, they unearth a player who's been quietly undervalued for nearly 50 years. The top rookie season of all time is Wilt Chamberlain in 1959-1960 with 17.8 regular season and 1.4 playoff wins for a total of 19.2. Nobody touched Wilt, not then, not now. In his first NBA season, he averaged 37.6 points and 27 rebounds per game, numbers that have never been approached before or since. The net wins formula does not need to work very hard here. Chamberlain was operating in a dimension no other player occupied. In a 17.8 regular season, net wins remain the single highest regular season in the history of this formula for a rookie. The 1.4 playoff net wins come from Philadelphia's 9-game postseason run, in which Wilt contributed at the same elite level he brought all regular season. Philly fell to Boston in the Eastern Division Finals. Wilt's first encounter with the rivalry that would define the early part of his career, the greatest rookie season ever played by any measure. Number 2, David Robinson, 89-90. 15.2 regular season, 1.5 playoff, 16.7 total. Robinson had to wait. He served 2 years of military service after being drafted by San Antonio in 87. When he finally arrived, the Spurs improved from 21 wins to 56. That single season turnaround is one of the most dramatic in NBA history, and it was built almost entirely in Robinson's two-way dominance. The 1.5 playoff net wins reflect a genuine postseason contribution. San Antonio beat Denver 3-0 in the first round, then pushed Portland to 7 games before losing. Robinson played all 10 playoff games at the same level he had maintained all year, a legitimate second-place finish on this list. Number 3, another Spur, Tim Duncan, 97-98, 15 regular season plus 0.7 playoff. Duncan was the rare number 1 overall pick who lived up to everything that the billing demanded. He averaged 21.1 points and 11.9 rebounds and finished second in MVP voting as a rookie. He was already one of the 5 best players in the league in year 1. The 0.7 playoff net wins come from San Antonio's 9-game run, 3 wins over Phoenix in round 1, then a sweep at the hands of Utah. The limited sample keeps his playoff number modest, but the regular season figure needs no apology. Number 3 is a tie between Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 69-70 with a 15.7 total, and Duncan mentioned before. Then known as Lou Alcindor, Kareem walked in the NBA and was immediately the best player in the league. He averaged 28.8 points and 14.5 rebounds and won Rookie of the Year unanimously. Milwaukee improved by 29 games his first season. The 1.8 playoff net wins pushed him to 15.7 total, reflecting 10 playoff games, 5 wins for Milwaukee before falling to the Knicks. Kareem and Duncan are exactly tied at 15.7, 2 of the most dominant rookie seasons of any era, inseparable by this measure. Number 5, Magic Johnson, 1979-80, 10.8 regular season and 3 playoff wins for 13.8 total. Magic's regular season number looks modest against the names above him, but the playoffs change everything. The 3 playoff net wins are the highest of anyone on this list, and they come from 16 games as a 20-year-old on a championship team, including the famous Game 6 in which he played center and scored 42 points to clinch the title against Philadelphia. He was 20 years old. He finished his rookie year as a champion. Number 6, Wes Unseld, 68-69 season, 13 regular, 0 playoff. Unseld's one of the great anomalies in NBA history. He averaged just 13.8 points per game as a rookie, yet he won both Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season, only the second player ever to do so after Wilt. He was 6'7", undersized by center standards even then, built like a fireplace, and he set screens that teammates talked about for the rest of their careers. Net wins captures what the basic box score misses. Unseld's rebounding, his physicality, his ability to control the paint without needing the score. His 13.0 regular season total is a statement about what winning actually requires. His 0 playoff net wins are unavoidable. Baltimore was swept by New York in 4 games in the first round. Number 7, Larry Bird, 1979-1980, 12.8 regular. Boston won 29 games the year before Bird arrived. They won 61 the year he did. He averaged 21.3 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, and finished second in the MVP voting. He was already fully Larry Bird. Number 8, Ben Simmons, 27-2018. Here's the most fascinating and ultimately tragic entry on this list. Simmons' regular season production was genuine, an exceptional passer and defender, the kind of player who made everyone around him better without needing the ball in his hands to score. The one playoff net win came from Philadelphia's 10-game run, 4 wins over Miami in the first round, 1 win over Boston before the Celtics closed it out. Across the 10 games, he was productive in ways he was always productive, which is to say in almost every way except one. The problem that defines his entire career was that he would not shoot. Not, could not, would not. In a league where the three-point line made spacing everything, Simmons' refusal to develop a reliable jump shot made him a defensive liability in the half court and ultimately made him someone opponents could exploit by simply following him. The 2021 playoffs against Atlanta crystallized everything. Simmons went 6 games while being pulled in clutch moments by his own coaches for fear of what would happen if he touched the ball near the basket. What followed was worse. The relationship with Philadelphia collapsed publicly and bitterly. He was traded to Brooklyn, where a back injury derailed whatever fresh start he might have made. He's played sporadically since, a cautionary tale about a rare combination of physical gifts that was never fully realized because of one specific refusal. His rookie season and 11.1 net wins of it remains a monument to what he was capable of being. Number 9, Alvin Adams, 1975-76, 8.7 regular season, 2.1 playoff. Here's where the list gets interesting. Alvin Adams is the shock on this ranking, the name that makes people stop and recalibrate. He should not have been this good. The evidence at the time suggested he might not survive. A 6'9", 210-pound center from Oklahoma, rail thin by the standards of an era where big men were built like refrigerators, entering a league that still rewarded brute force in the post. Instead, Adams transformed the position. He could pass, genuinely pass, not just kick out to the perimeter, but run the offense from the high post in ways centers simply did not do in 1976. He had a mid-range game that was foreign to most bigs of his era. He moved laterally, set up cutters, made decisions. Everything about his game would have been celebrated in the modern NBA. In the mid-70s, it was seen as an oddity that happened to work. Adams won Rookie of the Year. He finished the regular season with 8.7 net wins, but it is the 2.1 playoff net wins that elevate him to the top 10, a 19-game postseason run that ranks amongst the most improbable in the history of the sport. The 75-76 Phoenix Suns had no business being in the NBA Finals. They finished the regular season at 42-40, the last team to make the Western Conference playoffs, then beat Seattle and Golden State in the way to a series against the Boston Celtics that produced what is still considered the greatest game ever played, Game 5, triple overtime, the Garden in a frenzy. Adams played alongside Paul Westphal and Gar Hurd and was the second most productive player in the entire playoffs that year, behind only JoJo White. The Suns lost the series 4-2, but what they accomplished with Adams at center was something no one had predicted and few have properly credited. Adams went on to spend his entire career in Phoenix. He remains the franchise's all-time leader in games played in multiple statistical categories. The Suns have never fully left him behind, and the net wins formula will not either. He would have been a superstar in today's game. In 1976, he was a revelation that history mostly forgot. Number 10, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq arrived with more hype than any player since Magic, and he delivered immediately. He averaged 23.4 points and 13.9 rebounds and won Rookie of the Year. He was physically dominant in a way the league had not seen since Chamberlain. Number 11, Elgin Baylor. Baylor revolutionized the forward position the moment he entered the league. He averaged 24.9 points and 15 rebounds as a rookie and introduced a style of play, mid-air improvisation, body control, creativity above the rim that no one had seen before, and the players spent the next 2 decades trying to replicate. His 1.4 playoff net wins plus 8.8 regular season reflect 6 wins across a deep postseason run from the Minneapolis Lakers that ended in the finals. Even as a rookie, he was already the player opponents had to build their defense around. Another notable rookie season just outside of the top 10 was Michael Jordan, 84-85. 10.2 regular season, 0.3 playoff for 10.5 total. Jordan lands at 10.5 in the conversation just outside. He averaged 28.2 points as a rookie and was Rookie of the Year unanimously. The playoff numbers modest because Chicago lost in the first round 3-1 to Milwaukee, giving Jordan just 4 postseason games. He spent the rest of his career making up for early exits. Net wins measures a player's contribution to their team's wins based on the sheer positive and negative actions relative to teammates. Net wins is an original statistic developed at netwins.substack.com. The net wins formula and all written content are original works, all rights reserved. The database can be accessed at willf123 at github.io/NBA-net-wins. Thank you.